So I wrote to Creality and I asked for spare parts, and they sent me a new nozzle head and a new motherboard. Now, I want to be frank right now and say that this video is going to be very interesting for you. If you have a Creality K1 printer, definitely think about what I'm saying right now, and this is not a simple thing to understand. There are so many things going wrong with the K1 printer. So I got the new motherboard, the new nozzle head. The motherboard got switched, even though that we were not really sure that it was a motherboard issue. They gave me one nonetheless. Also, the nozzle head, the hot ends, also got switched. And the hot end was actually new. So the old hot end, the original hot end shipped with the Creality K1 printer, it's really bad. It doesn't work. It kind of burnt through some of the plastic inside of it, and I don't know what exactly it is. It kind of, when you heat it up to a certain amount, it just doesn't work anymore. And it's a big issue, and many people do have that issue. So, if you bought a Creality K1, not the Max, because as I understand, the K1 Max printer did get the upgrade, but the K1 did not. So the problem with the K1 printer is that you got a lot of under extrusion, got a lot of error codes on the screen, in the 3000 areas, in the 2000 areas, even 2000, just unknown exception, a lot of them. Printing stopped, printing mid-air, so many problems. So I sent my printer to the reseller, and they fixed it. They swapped the motherboard, they swapped the hot end, and I was really happy. They showed me some prints they did with it, and it was pretty perfect. It was the prints from the main board, a benchy, and the weird wiggly one with the 300 millisecond speed is just all over the place. And also another one, and I came the day and it was sticking on the actual plate that removed the last print, and it all looked perfect. I was really happy. I went home, I put it up, I installed it, and I did the calibration, perfect. I did the very first extrusion, perfect. I started the printing, and then things went downhill. And I recorded the videos. So the video is going to be recorded on my phone. It's going to be a smaller format. The sound's going to be different. Going to be some noise, but it will show you what you need to see. So I decided to try and print a small hammer. It's not the biggest hammer. As you can see, it only fitting, I would say, around 50% of the building plate right now. So it's a small one. But got some good angles. You can probably see what's going on, and we also have some spaces and some good layer stuff. So I'm gonna do that and see how it goes. All right, so we're back again. We're doing a extrusion test now with a new nozzle head from Creality they sent to me, and the temperature is climbing up to 240 degrees, as you can see. It just performed a self-test and self-inspection, rather boring to see that. It's just, all check marks. But as we're climbing up, you see that the temperature is reaching its final endpoint, 240, and it should stop almost around that pretty fast without any issues now. Let's see what happens. So the temperature stopped. I'm happy with the results. It's a click inside of the nozzle head, and now it says extruding, and we can see that it is now extruding pretty well from the nozzle head. It's a yellow color, got some white in it from the reseller testing the printer itself. So all in all, I'm happy with the results so far, and yes. Alright, so we're back again. The Creality K1 printer is currently printing in the hammer, and as you can see, it's putting down the first initial support layer. And it looks pretty okay. There are some minor things we probably address by altering some settings and stuff in the printer, also doing the slicing. But since this is just support, there we go. I wouldn't necessarily say this is anything bad at all. It's the first time I run it. It's so far running perfect, and I want to see how it goes, the final result. So it will take around, it's 4% done, so it'll take around 20 minutes. It's a small hammer, and let's see how it goes. So it's a new Holland and a new motherboard. Alright, so you watched the video now to this point, and I would like to say that this is not an isolated example, you know. Many people got issues, a lot of issues with this printer. More than I would say is normal. So I did more than that, you know. I don't usually listen to what people say on Facebook, because we're only going to listen to all the ones that have problems, not all the ones that doesn't have them. So what is the actual difference between the ones that doesn't and the one who does? I don't know. I cannot say that, but I can say that I talked to other sellers, and they all told me that we had a lot of people with the K1 printer returning it to us with errors and lots of different kind of errors, and we need to fix it all the time. It doesn't work. I also asked them about the Bambu Lab printers and stuff like that, and they said like, well, we didn't really see that many of them back here, only a few. So there is a large difference between how much the K1 has issues compared to, for example, Bambu Lab. This is not a Bambu Lab video. I'm not going to talk about that at all. I know they also have some problems. Every new big printer do have a problem. So I'm going to talk about Creality just a bit. I do have a Creality Ender 3 S1 printer. It works perfectly. So I really thought that Creality would be the one for me. So before we end this video, you know, please just take a look at the error codes on the screen that I also took some photos of. It can be a bit difficult to see on the videos, but I really hope that you're going to give this video some credit. Think twice before you buy a Creality K1. I wouldn't say this applies to all the printers, but it definitely applies to the K1 series, and I would definitely not buy any K1 printer right now, at least. I would wait. I'm not saying it's a thing that continues. I'm saying it's just a thing right now that's really bad, and it's really frustrating. I drove a lot of miles, 3 days in a row almost, to return the printer, get it again, return it again, and get the money back. So I returned my printer. I don't have it anymore. I returned my K1 printer. I got all the money back. I'm not doing anything with the K1 printer anymore. I am done with the K1. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and wait now for some time. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. My Ender 3 S1, it can do almost the same kind of quality, but it's still not the same. The quality can be better with a better printer, like the Creality printers that are fast, or the Bambu Lab is also fast. But for now, I would not go ahead and buy the K1. This was an honest review, real videos. I have nothing to do with the 3D printing market. I just want to get it out there and say, think twice, you know, do some research, do your own research, by the way, and make up your mind before you buy it. Alright, so have a nice day and see you again online on my channel.